A very good evening to viewers and listeners. I am Shehu Ahmad Sani Babanduhu with Safalma News. The headlines: security agencies have been directed to address insecurity, economic sabotage, and unwanted destruction. Senate resolved to amend Constitution to provide financial autonomy for local government councils. About 700 Nigerians have crossed Ukrainian borders to neighboring territories. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security services to address with immediate effect all the cases of security breaches, economic sabotage, and unwanted destruction of life and property across the country.
I wish to assure Nigerians that the issue of kidnapping that has bedeviled us in the recent past is being tackled with all seriousness. We have zero tolerance for kidnapping, especially of school children, and we shall deal with such outrages decisively.
This is while declaring open the National Security Seminar organized by Alumni Association of Defense College in collaboration with the Office of the National Security Advisor at the National Defense College. Before departing Nigeria to Nairobi, Kenya, the seminar focuses on nationalism, national building, and national security preparedness. The Nigerian Armed Forces is renewing cooperation with the Egyptian military in order to boost combat efficiency. This came to the fore at a conference on military cooperation between armed forces of Nigeria and Egypt. This is the second time the Nigerian and the Egyptian armed forces have meeting to deliberate on areas of mutual interest. Their focus include the development and the capacity of special forces, air defense, and border security, among others.
We emphasize that we hope to, at the end of this meeting, strengthen the issue of intelligence sharing and special forces training in particular. And above all, we are hoping that it will afford us opportunity of finalizing the MOU.
Kaduna State Police Command has drafted explosive expert to strategic location to monitor the situation following a security challenge by a terrorist group who threatened to attack some soft targets. The State Police Command and other security organizations say they have already dispatched their personnel to secure the state. They called on the people to go about their legitimate and normal businesses and report any suspicious movement to relevant security agencies.
Working with the anti-bomb squad, have beefed off their patrols in all nooks and crannies of the state to avoid future occurrence of these killings.
More than 600 Nigerians have crossed Ukrainian border into Hungary and 900 into Romanian borders, as well as 350 in Poland. About 700 of them have found their way into neighboring territories like Hungary, 900 into Romania, 350 into Poland, while Slovakia have taken 150 persons. But many other Nigerians are still trapped behind war lines. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it has collaborated with these countries to facilitate their temporary entry while putting in place their evacuation plan. This news is coming to you from Safalma TV Radio Online. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and YouTube for more information. The Senate has resolved to alter with the provision of Section 162 and 318 and 5th Schedule of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. 1999 as amended to provide for local government financial autonomy, and Section 7 to establish local government councils as third tier of government with a fixed 3-year tenure. Section 121, Part 2, Third Schedule, seeking to provide financial autonomy for the state legislature and state judiciary were also passed, while Section 84 and 124, seeking to provide pension for life for presiding officers of the National Assembly, were rejected.
No, 2 senators, abstain, 0.
Total 94. And that complies with the registration. Carried is passed.
Voting on constitution amendment bills at the State House of Representatives is spring of variety of outcomes. Attempt to lay to rest issues on value-added tax, for instance, by altering Part 1 of the second schedule of the Constitution and enable its inclusion in the exclusive legislative list, could not garner the two-thirds of votes required for its pass. The bill that made provision for immunity for presiding officer of National and State House of Assembly also rejected. So far, two bills seeking for more inclusion of women in the political space suffered setback. The bill seeking 111 seats for women in the National and State Assemblies failed to secure two-thirds of votes required for its pass. Voting on the Women Empowerment Bill was inducted on the presence of the wife of the Vice President of Nigeria, Dolapo Osinbajo, and her entourage. The Intra-Party Advisory Council says with the signing of the Amendment Electoral Act by President Muhammadu Buhari, Nigeria has recorded a remarkable and epical milestone in the nation's system of democracy. Nigerians, especially the political class, have done reacting to the signing of the Amendment Electoral Act by the President. One of the latest reactions is coming from representatives of the 28 registered political parties under the banner of Intra-Party Advisory Council (IPAC). The media engagement by the council is to celebrate Nigerians from the birth of what members describe as historic and long-awaited Electoral Act 2022. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Russia of war crimes after it launched air strikes on the country's second city, Kharkiv. At least 10 people were killed and 35 hurt when an opera house, a concert hall and a government office were struck in Kharkiv Freedom Square. Ukraine military said Russian troops had parachuted into Kharkiv in an effort to capture the besieged city. There were immediate clashes after the paratroopers landed. The main TV tower in the capital, Kyiv, was also hit, knocking media off air and killing 5 people. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Security agencies have been directed to address security, economic supporters, and unwanted destruction. Senate resolved to amend Constitution to provide financial autonomy for local government councils. About 700 Nigerians have crossed Ukrainian borders to neighboring territories. That ends Safalma News. Bye for now.